Hi, I'm Becca from Beccanomics, and my recipe for make ahead and freeze breakfast sandwiches has gotten a lot of attention, a lot of pins. So what I'm going to do today is just give you a video version of the recipe, and for any questions you might have had for the how-to, I'll help you through it. The reason you would do these is because skipping breakfast is one of the worst things you can do for a healthy diet in general, and it doesn't take that long. Sometimes people want to get a little extra sleep, so what you can do is on Saturday or Sunday you can make 12 of these, and that's almost, well, 2.5 weekdays worth of breakfasts. They come in under 300 calories, they're using all natural ingredients, and it's the perfect way to start your day. Lots of protein with the eggs. Alright, so these are our ingredients. We're going to make 12 sandwiches, and FYI, all of these ingredients comes together to be about $1 a sandwich. So the only place you can get $1 sandwiches is the dollar menu, but on McDonald's. But this is way healthier than that. So we have 10-ounce package of frozen spinach, square. We're going to soften that. 2 packages of English muffins. They're 6 each, so it makes 12. A dozen eggs. There's 12 in there. I got ultra thin. The reason I didn't get low fat, even though these are lighter sandwiches, is that it melts better. Full fat cheeses, they melt better and they actually freeze better too. Here you have a pound of sliced mushrooms, 16 ounces. It's going to cook down to nothing. But that's what we're starting with. I'm going to show you how to work it. So first, take those English muffins, open them up. What we're essentially doing is dehydrating these. We're toasting them. You might say, why does it matter if they're toasted if you're gonna freeze them and microwave them? What it is it's dehydrating. We're trying to make these the driest sandwiches as possible because soggy is our enemy. We're gonna dry out the bread. This is how you do it. Put it in a 300-degree oven for like 15 minutes. We won't need them because we'll be making the sandwiches, so make sure that's the first thing you do. 15 minutes, 300-degree oven. Forget about them for a while. Okay? Okay, next we're going to tackle the veggies. We want this to be, this is already cooked, but it's frozen, so we're going to microwave it for probably like 2-3 minutes. You want it to be totally thawed out. Then we're going to squeeze the bejesus out of it. Make sure there's no water left at all. So that's the first step. Do the mushrooms in a very large skillet because this is what we're going to use for the whole thing. You can use nonstick spray, you can use butter. I'm going to use a little olive oil, about a tablespoon. Okay, and let that heat up, medium-high heat. And because I got the pre-sliced mushrooms, all we have to do, once it gets hot, is to open it and pour it in. So, into the pan goes the mushrooms. Turn your heat up to high. We're going to cook these until all of the water comes out of them. And then once that all gets sucked up, we're ready for the next step. So I'll show you what it was supposed to look like. For now, let it cook. Give it a stir every once in a while. Over high heat, medium high heat. Okay. So I microwave the spinach in a bowl, and it's very wet. So before I can use it, what I have to do is I have to squeeze it out. So you just pick some up in your hand, go over to the sink, look at that. Okay? This is another good way to use your muscles. Alright, squeeze it out. It's amazing once it's truly dehydrated how little spinach you're using in this, but basically we've concentrated it. All that spinach, that whole 10-ounce box of frozen spinach should be able to fit in your hand like a baseball. That's when it's done. Keep squeezing until it's at this point. So we're going to crack all 12 eggs in here, and we're going to whisk them together. It's the easiest part. So the reason we cook these down as well as we do is, one, because they taste better and the texture's better. Mushrooms are better when they're really cooked down. But also, because when you microwave them, if they weren't cooked all the way, then they would release some of their liquid, which would then make our sandwich soggy. So by getting rid of all the liquid ahead of time, you cut down on that problem later. So you want to cook these until they're shriveled up, super soft, golden brown, and they smell good. Okay, so the mushrooms are cooked down. They're ready to move. I'm going to put my spinach in that's totally dehydrated. Break this up. My salt. And garlic powder. Not too much, because remember, this is breakfast and you don't want to have garlic breath. Okay, so you mix this up, scrape the bottom of the pan, especially if it's not a non-stick pan. Okay, make sure this is really well mixed. And then transfer this back to that bowl that you had your spinach in. Wipe the pan clean just in case there's any schmush on there. And we want to spray it with nonstick spray. Olive oil, I mean, you can use butter, you can use whatever you want here. I'm trying to keep them light, so that's my best bet when it comes to light. Take your 12 eggs, break up the yolks, just like you're making scrambled eggs. Alright, into the pan it goes. Alright, and this is the part that I'm really glad I'm getting filmed to show you because it's really hard to describe in writing. What I want to do is I want to use heat-proof spatula and almost kind of want to scramble the eggs as they're cooking. Just kind of keep it moving around. Okay, as soon as the bottom sets, scramble it around. Almost like I'm making an omelet. Okay, like the first steps of making an omelet or a frittata. Essentially we're scrambling them, but what we want to do is we want to keep them as spread out in the pan as possible. You'll see why in just a minute. Alright, so they're pretty much scrambled, I mean like wet scrambled. Make sure they're really well spread out in the pan. You want to give them a nice sprinkle of salt because our eggs haven't been seasoned yet. Maybe some pepper. And in goes our veggies. Okay, you can use it all, you can use a little bit less, but what we want to do here is smoosh it down in, technical term, smoosh. Smoosh it down in, nice and evenly. Okay, we're just getting them to adhere a little bit, cook a little bit. It's going to help us with our sandwiches, keep it all together later. Okay, the heat's off. Ready to move on to our next step? Okay. So we're going to portion this out. Try, obviously, since you have 12 sandwiches, kind of make a mental line down the middle and work 6 and 6. You're just going to get a scoop, okay, and put it right on the sandwich. The reason I didn't just scramble the veggies with the eggs is that you want to keep the veggies separate from the roll. We're going to put the cheese on top now. Why? Just, we've talked about that. It has the most liquid and soggy sandwich is our enemy. Okay. So, you notice we have egg, then we have veggie, and then we have cheese. The only part, because this full fat cheese is not going to release a lot of water, and the egg is good, it's just the veggies that would release water when we cooked it in the microwave. So by sandwiching the veggies, you're keeping it away from the bread. Okay, so we wrapped each one in paper towel. That's just to soak up any excess moisture. And you want to wrap it nice and tight in a piece of plastic wrap. Like so. That one's ready to be frozen. Put it over there. So these have been frozen, all wrapped, ready to go. I'm going to take them out. The night before I'm going to use them, I'm going to put it in the fridge. And it's the next morning. The breakfast sandwich, it's thawed. Unwrap it. I'm going to put it in here for about 30 seconds, just long enough to do something specific, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. To take, yes it did, take off our, oh, my toaster's not there. I moved it. Throw it in the toaster. Reason being, microwaving bread, this part doesn't want to come, does it? There we go. Microwaving bread is gross. So then you take what you have left, put it on a plate, and cook it for about a minute while our bread toasts. Got toasted bread, cheesy, melty, scrambled egg, Swiss cheese, spinach, mushrooms. No thanks, babe. Do you want me to put this on before I eat my sandwich? That's what I'm talking about. Do you want a bite of this? Okay, so as I said before, this is a healthier version of the post I've had on my blog for a long time that a lot of people like. That is the less healthy version. Breakfast meat, bacon, ham, whatever works. You can do the eggs the same way, and the cheese can be the same, but you add the meat instead of the veggies. This is the healthier way to do it. These are clocking in a little over 200 calories, but full of protein, full of nutrients, full of complex carbs, and calcium in the cheese. All you need to get you through till probably lunchtime, okay? Click the link below for this recipe, but also if you want the original recipe, if you like meat in your breakfast sandwich, that's below too, so you can click on that, it's the original. For all my other recipes, homebeccanomics.com is where you'll find them, and the link's below. That's all, bye. You want a bite? Mm-hmm.